Hey, what's going on? My name is Hazeeq. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Rndr. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, this was requested in the comments under one of my previous videos, so we're taking a look at the Rndr token. Now, let's jump straight into the daily chart. So taking a look at the daily chart, as you can see, this chart looks very bullish. We had this massive accumulation phase down here, and we're finally breaking out of it. So if you've been accumulating and dollar cost averaging into Rndr since May 2022, you're obviously right now up approximately almost 4x. So that's a good thing, obviously. And from the bottom that we printed here in December 2022, we had a massive move of approximately 630% to the upside. Now you can also see that the yellow arrows are pointing towards points of contact with these resistance and support levels. So you can see that the first point of contact was back here in May. After the capitulation, we had that quick V-shaped recovery. We retested this resistance level and then we went down. Then a few months later, we came back up in November 2022 and we had the exact same back test of resistance. Then we came down once again to the same lows. And from there, we started pumping in January. We broke above the resistance level and then we came back down and we had a perfect back test of support. So this was a perfect entry for anyone that was looking to trade, to enter the project obviously as well, but this was obviously the best time to be entering. But if you missed the opportunity over here in March, that was your golden area to be buying Rndr tokens at. But if you missed that as well, we could be looking at another pullback relatively soon, to be honest with you. So right now we are in this channel up pattern, as you can see. So we had the first touch in March, and then you go up to the resistance, back to the support, up to the resistance, back to the support, up to the resistance, back to the support. So at some point, this channel up pattern is going to get broken to the downside. That's what happens in 90% of these channel up patterns. Now, if this was a channel down pattern, the chances of breaking out are obviously higher. So that's what happens if it's a channel down pattern. But in this instance, obviously, it is a channel up pattern. So we're going to be expecting a break of this support trend line. Now, once that happens, that does not mean that you immediately have to start buying a bunch of tokens or going all in. No, that simply means that a potential retracement has started, and we could see approximately a 50% retracement, which usually is a good retracement, a healthy retracement after an impulsive move to the upside. Now, we can set up a Fibonacci retracement from this high in May all the way back down to this low in March. And if I extend this to the right side here, you can see that we have the golden ratio sitting at $1.45. So that is going to be a massive support area for us to hold once we start breaking below this channel up pattern. And that is going to be the golden ratio. Obviously, the 0.618 has the most, or has the strongest support out of all the fib levels. And that is exactly a 50% pullback from that high. So this is where I would start entering heavily buying into the project if you are bullish on it and you're looking to hold long term. Now, from the December low, that would still be approximately 250% of profit. So you're going to be buying at pretty expensive prices here. Personally, I would not even be entering at $1.45 because there are a lot of other alternatives to Rndr, as in the price hasn't been pumping as much as this token has been. So you can still enter at these lows, but for some other projects, and you can still ride those waves to the upside in the next few months. But that's obviously if you have the patience to do so, because if you're going to be buying into something like this, your chances of going lower are far greater than the chances of continuing to the upside. Obviously, that is always possible, but at some point we are going to see a pretty hefty correction. For example, over here, from the February low to the March low, we saw a 57% pullback. Then we had another move to the upside. So potentially we come back down to the golden ratio, have a very similar pullback, and we have our next move to the upside. And if we start losing the golden ratio, we can start targeting this green support block. This is going to be something important for us to hold. So if I zoom in, you can see that we have a bounce here from the bottom. Actually, let me just make this right. So we're going to be using the bottom of this candle here in March 2023, just a few months ago, at $1.15, and we're going to be using the bottom of these candles at the end of March at $1.27. So that is going to be your support block between $1.27 and $1.15. That is going to be a very important area for us to hold as support, because if you're going to be breaking below such a major support block, that means you're either coming back down to retest this low for a double bottom pattern, or you're obviously going to be headed somewhere even lower than that, maybe even coming back down to those 1.618 targets to the downside at 51.5 cents, which is going to be our target if we end up breaking below this over here, this March low. So you have to keep an eye on that. From where we are right now, if we were to go down to 51%, that would be an 80% pullback. So I think that's only possible in case we have a massive flash crash across the markets. If something bearish happens and Bitcoin drops 20 to 30% in a day, altcoins will obviously bleed and these prices could be possible. So just in case that happens, you could set up some buy limit orders if you want to be on the safe side. Now let's jump into the daily RSI and see what is going on over here. Let's see if we have any divergences at the moment. So I'm already spotting one. So this over here is a bearish divergence. So you can see the price action is printing higher highs constantly. Now we take a look at the RSI here. The same highs are printing lower or going lower. So we can see that this high corresponds to this high. This high on the RSI corresponds to this high. But this one is higher, but on the RSI it's lower, and this high is even lower when the price action chart high is higher than the previous two. So this is called a bearish divergence, and usually this is your signal of a potential pullback. So that's why I'm expecting this pullback. We have this channel up pattern, we have this bearish divergence playing out. And if you are looking to catch a support level on the RSI, what you can do is you can take this trend line from the March low, extend it all the way up through the May bounce, and potentially you could be looking at a nice retest here of that support trend line, of that ascending support trend line that we've been retesting in 2023 twice already. So that could be a nice area for you to average in. But if we go back to September 2000 or August even 2022, we can establish a major support block here, and that this is what we could be targeting as well. Because every single time since August 2022, since you've been in this support block, or every time you touched this support block, you had a move to the upside. So this is a good area to target for swing traders, for people who are looking to enter for the long term, obviously. And what you can also do is add a resistance trend line here from the top, all the way, dragging us all the way down. So we are sort of in this symmetrical triangle here, and as soon as you get squeezed in between the support and the resistance, you're going to be forced into a move. And with the way the markets are behaving right now, it does not look like we're going to be seeing an uptrend anytime soon. However, come August, September, I'm expecting a bull trap. I'm expecting a move to the upside where altcoins are going to get overextended, because that is exactly what has been happening for the past 4 or 5 years. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart and go over to some other long-term targets that we could see for Rndr. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Now, not to drag on for too long, guys, I do want to mention that the volume indicator is looking extremely bullish here on the weekly chart, even more bullish than we were back in the initial bull market in 2021, which is obviously a good thing. Now, we did print a bullish cross on the weekly chart. That is also a very good thing, but we're quite overextended from the 20 EMA, and the 20 EMA is getting quite overextended from the 55 EMA. Now look what happened the last time we were this overextended from the EMAs, and the EMAs were overextended from one another. We had a pullback. So that is potentially what is going to be happening here. And keep in mind, this was a bull market. So imagine if we're in a bear trend, we're not going to be going up forever. And you can also see that we have a potential head and shoulders pattern here. So you definitely want to be holding this trend line. So this low at 40 cents, you don't want to be losing that, because if you lose that, you're going to have a massive target to the downside. I would even target approximately 10 cents here if we were to lose that, because as you can see, we have the left shoulder, we have the right shoulder, and we have our head in the middle. And if you lose the neckline, which is the trend line that connects both of the lows in between the head and the shoulders, that is going to be a very bearish thing for us. So I hope that that's not going to happen. I don't think it will, but yeah, let's see what the markets bring forward. Now, if we take a look at the Fibonacci retracement that I have here, we have one set up from the low that we printed in December last year to the all-time high in November 2021, and our 1.618 target is sitting all the way up here at $41. And from where we are right now, that is a 1,500% move to the upside. From the December low, that is a 10,000% move to the upside. So you can see how these things are possible, and that would approximately be a a 7x from the previous all-time high from November 2021. So I think this is quite plausible. Obviously, you have some other targets on the way to the 1.618, such as the 1.414 and the 1.272, which is your minimal target at $15. So let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if you're buying Rndr right now. Personally, I'm going to be waiting for a pullback before I get in. At least the 20 EMA retest is going to be a good area for us to start targeting. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to see you in the next update, and take care.